3. All right. Assalamualaikum. And hey, good afternoon, bro. Hi. Hello. Okay. So, wow, this has been a long time, man. So I think, Adrian, I haven't seen you in person, right? But you only chat in just the Instagram, right? But WK, I met 2 or 3 times lah to borrow his watch and everything. Okay. So
I also borrow your watch, bro.
Yeah lah. And we also racun each other to buy a few watches lah. Alright. So to start the show for today, so to start the show today, so we are going to talk about what got you into this horology rabbit hole, right? So it's a deep rabbit hole. But first, let's just introduce ourselves first. Right, so let me introduce myself first. Okay, let's do a quick wristwatch check. So today I am wearing this Baltani. I think it's AliExpress brand. W10 pilot watch or something. It's quite small actually. So you see, it's a bit looks like big, right?
No, it looks very nice size actually, for your wrist.
It's actually 36 millimeters, right? So it looks big, but it is actually quite small. All right, so so that's a quick wristwatch check from my side. So my name is Nur Muhammad. I run the NM Watch YouTube channel on YouTube, and also I have NM Watch Insta on Instagram. So what I do for living is basically I work as a procurement manager for a car gearbox supplier for our national car, which is Pro 2 lah. So that is what I do for my work. But on YouTube, I mainly review these affordable watches, right? So sometimes I borrow these expensive watches from WK, so just spice up things a bit. And and of course, I sometimes shoot photos on my Instagram as well, but not as great as the photo that Adrian do lah. Adrian, later on,
no lah.
Maybe later on Adrian will tell us how he managed to get all this semut. Basically, semut is ants. And of course later and WK also, right? So you can share about your journey into your horology lah, right? So that's my introduction. So next is Mr. WK.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm WK, and this is my Instagram handle here. I hope you can see it.
Yeah.
So, is it the other side now?
Yeah.
Okay, is it here?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, what can I say? I used to be an advertising man, and I had some digital marketing agencies that I eventually sold in 2012, and ever since then I worked for a few more years, and then after that things didn't work out with the acquirer, and so I left, and now I am jobless and miserable and old. That's it.
Say that.
Over to you, Adrian.
Okay. Well, WK, what about what are you wearing today?
Sorry. I'm wearing this is the Casio Edifice EFR S108D.
Oh, I can remember.
Yeah.
Super slim watch.
Like every watch I buy, I do quite a bit of research, so I tend to remember. But you ask me other things that I don't have, then I can never tell you the model number.
All right. Thank you very much, bro. So now you are just sitting at home lah. Tak ada buat apa.
No lah. I mean, officially I'm retired.
Right.
You know, I sort of didn't have a life and really didn't have a family life for the 20 years or so I was running the business. So it was a conscious decision to, just return to basics and spend time with my kids who are already growing up, But on the side, I do some volunteer work for non-profits, and I also do a little bit of mentoring for leadership and entrepreneurs.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right,
that's
what about
the
you,
official
Adrian?
one. Adrian, your turn.
All right.
Okay. Hi, I'm Adrian. Quick wristwatch check first. I'm wearing the quite common SNXS 79. Just got it for my birthday this year. Basically, I think it looks a bit like the Oyster Perpetual lah. by
okay.
Rolex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this watch I will really baby lah. All my other watch I really wear and full of scratches and also, but this one I want to try to see how much I can avoid scratches lah. I
Sure,
don't
you,
think I'll be
sure
successful
you
lah.
cannot lah. You always go to all the forest mah.
Exactly. That's my biggest problem. So
Is this the one that you got from your wife?
yeah, this year.
Okay, this one you
Oh,
gotta jaga, bro.
you got to jaga,
This
cannot.
one you really have to jaga.
Difficult lah. All the things that she gave me so far, all the watches, all quite bad condition. Yeah.
So mean even is
I show the love by wearing it.
right. That's a good
That's
excuse.
true.
Yeah. So I actually work as a conservationist in a local with an NGO here lah in Malaysia. I think that's how my handle came about, because basically I really like nature and I really like watches. So I combine both of it. And the interesting thing is that before I started the IG, I was finding all sorts of a name that nobody has taken before. Actually, I really wanted like watch in nature or a watch in nature, but very hard lah. So I just managed to get this. Luckily, it was still available, so not too bad lah. Not too bad.
Yeah, but then there's one more Instagram handle with watches in nature, right? So I sometimes confused.
Oh, really?
Confused with that guy. Yeah, there's one more guy.
Yeah, he was on IG way before me.
Yeah.
I think like 5-6 years ago. I only got on IG about 2 years plus ago, and I didn't know that he existed as well. Because because he is watches _ nature. I only found out about a couple of months ago or something like that. But now we are chatting quite often already lah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So his account is also nature based.
Yeah, his is more, I think, watch and landscape. So like a lot of seascapes and
yes.
and the waves and the beach. So pretty awesome also lah. Like mine is more on smaller stuff, and sometimes lah I try to throw in whenever lah. Quite rarely go out nowadays, especially those kind of kurang di lah. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's go into the main topic then, guys. Right. So since we have quite a limited time here, right? So what got you into this horology rabbit hole, right? So I shall start first, right? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Right. So I think I talked about this with WK before lah. I think it was 2015 or is it 2014? I cannot remember. But I start doing an MC job, Master of Ceremony job lah. So you guys know, I speak Japanese, right? That's why on my Instagram handle I still haven't changed the profile yet. I put there Japanese Muslim traveler or Muslim travel tour guide, something like that. So basically I speak Japanese, and then I've taken this job as an MC at Isetan KL. So it requires me to MC the program. And which also using Japanese language lah. So of course when we do MC, then we have to suit up and we use the all the suits and everything, but then I didn't have a wristwatch at that point of time, so I only have my phone, right? So it's quite weird because when you want to talk in the front of people, and then suddenly you take a look at your watch, right? So it at your phone, right? It looks like a bit rude lah, because people is in front of you, and then you see something on the phone, right? So that's why I said, okay lah, I need to, the program was like maybe 1 week or 2 weeks time, depending on the job. But what I realized that I need a wristwatch. Okay, that's why I started to wear a wristwatch. But at that point of time, I only have my G-Shock that I haven't worn for like 1 or 2 years or 3 years. I can't remember. And that G-Shock is actually the one that I bought like when I was in my study time in Japan, 1999 or something. And then you can imagine 10 years old G-Shock, man. So how better it was lah. So lah, when you put on a suit, then you put on a G-Shock. I was not even into horology at that time. Even at that point in time, I can see that, oh man, this looks awful, man. It doesn't make sense for me to wear suits together with a G-Shock, right? So it doesn't make sense. It is much bigger than this one. So this one I think is still okay lah, but it is much bigger than that. So that's why I started to do some research, and I bought a few quartz watches, right? So my wife bought me a few quartz watches, and then start from today. And then I think starting from 2014, I got myself an injury. right? So I've injured my ligament playing futsal, and I have to have a knee surgery, and then after that I have to stay at home for about 6 months. Knee
Oh
Ouch.
man.
not knee surgery, sorry, ankle surgery. I tore my ligament, and then I have to do that surgery, and then I have to stay at home like six whole months. Think 2014 December up until maybe around May 2015 lah. And during that time, right? So of course lah, you stay at home, you duduk rumah, you don't know what to do, and you start go through YouTube and everything. And I saw this I think the first few YouTube channel that I watch is this apa ni, a blog to watch, right?
Urban
Blog
Gentry?
to watch. No, a blog to watch. Before
A blog
Urban
to
Gentry,
watch.
a blog to watch, yeah, a blog to watch. So in a blog to watch, I watched the yes, I also watched the Urban Gentry and everything. So this all racun coming. So all this horology poison starts coming in, and then I've started my first ever automatic watch was a micro brand actually. I started with a micro brand, which is the Opris Morgan, and then I've got my Seiko Monster second gen. That is the first Seiko that I've ever bought. But you know what? One thing that I never mentioned to WK previously, who actually planted the seed of horology. Right. So this one, I think maybe you guys can relate later on lah. Actually, when I was in I think first step not above lowest form 1 or form 2, I can't remember, form 1 or form 2, I think. Okay, so 1989. So I used to live with my grandfather, with my late grandfather, right? So there is one year where he told me that, okay Matt, my family called me Matt, not Nor. Matt, okay Matt, so if Mamat get a good result, they say they biasalah dulu-dulu kan, a few years when our old times, to all our grandparents, kalau dapat, if you get good score, I will give you something, right? So as a motivation. And then my late grandfather said, I will give you an automatic watch. Me being a kid at that point in time, I have no idea what the heck was an automatic watch, right? So, so it was not really that, something that I would like at that point of time, right? So, but that somehow planted the seed of horology into me. Of course, being an idiot at that point of time, I didn't get what my late grandfather asked me to get, which is a great result at that point in time. But then I didn't get the watch, so it kept me thinking, what's so great about this automatic watch, right? So, and then after like what, 20 years or 30 years later, then boom, you've got into this deep rabbit hole. Right? So that's my side of the story. Right. So what about you, WK?
Well, I mean, you actually had practice for all this lockdown lah, because you were stuck at home for 6 months. So now you're veteran already.
Sort of lah.
Yeah. Okay, for me, actually it's quite ironic lah. I got into watches because I was getting out of watches.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I sort of have to put a bit of context to it, because I'm an old fart. So when I was a little boy, I mean, I don't come from a rich family. My father, was struggling in his younger days when they had me as a child. And so at one point, I was in primary school, maybe standard 1, standard 2. Oops. Maybe standard 1 or standard 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And I that's when I got my first watch. I mean, I think that I've always liked the way a watch makes you feel when you have a watch strapped to your wrist. Even though I don't think I can say that I like watches. Not until quite recently, So I think it was a very special moment for me when my father managed to save up enough money and bought me a watch as a standard 1, standard 2 kid, to go to school with a watch. It was a really big deal. I remember putting it on, going to the shop with my father to choose the watch, and I don't think I even chose it. Actually, he chose it for me. But putting it on, and I felt like I can't remember. And that's the thing that I'm really, really upset about. I wish I could remember my first few watches. But hey, you have to understand lah, like because of my age, this was in like the 18th century, right? So you can't blame me for not remembering. But I know that at one point, I think probably it was a manual winding watch, and I think it could have been a Citizen. I think it could have been a Citizen. And I remember it was manual winding because I always forget to wind it. And then, I look at my watch, it's like, oh, I don't need to wake up yet. And then actually it's already like too late. So that kind of things used to happen. And so basically like I felt really special to be able to put on a watch. Right? I felt like a big boy, like so grown up. And I think that feeling always followed me. When I started working and buying my own watch and things like that, I always felt like I need to have a watch to be complete. But honestly, it didn't really matter what the watch was because, like I said, I like the feeling that you get from having a watch, but not necessarily the watch itself. And over the years, as I was working through my career and all that, sometimes I have colleagues or my senior managers, they will say like, hey, we've hit the goal this year. I'm going to go and reward myself with a watch. Come along lah, and so that sort of peer pressure happened. And then I would go along and then they would buy a watch to reward themselves. And I would end up buying a watch also, not with any idea of what I wanted to get. It was just like, oh, okay, hey, that's quite nice. And how much is it? Bargain. If I manage to get it to the right price, then I'll walk out with it, right? So over the years, that happened quite a lot, and I accumulated some watches. So when I retired, and I had all these watches that I never wore, because I never developed a love for the watches. They were just things that I bought as a result of impulse or peer pressure or whatever. So I had all these watches that I look at and like I didn't like them anymore. And so I decided I'm going to sell all of them. And at that time I was quite active in fitness, so I was always wearing an Apple Watch and always tracking my heart rate and things like that, So I decided I'll just wear an Apple Watch lah. I don't need all these other watches. I'm going to sell them, right? And that's when it started. So in the process of selling those watches and figuring out how much they are worth today, I have to go and research them, right? And because they were watches that nobody really bought except me, right? I bought those watches, like they were not popular, so there's very little information on the internet. So very easy to get distracted. I'm trying to find out about this watch, but like, oh, hey, that's cool. Oh, that's what that means. Oh, that's interesting, and so on. And that's how it started. So eventually I sold all the watches. And I thought like I could be happy with just the Apple Watch, but I had already fallen down the hole. And then I said like, maybe I should get just one automatic watch. And I will pay very little money for it, but it has to be a very special watch. So I bought an SKX.
There's a total line,
007. Yeah. So I bought
that's the lie we all tell ourselves.
Yeah, that's right. And then like after I had the SKX 007, it's like, this watch is quite tall. Maybe I need a slimmer, dressier watch. Okay. And then I bought the Zin 556. I said, wow, but this is a lot of money to spend on a watch. I'm never going to buy another watch again. So this has to be the final watch. And then when I had the Zin 556, they're like, it's not as dressy as I thought it would be. So maybe I need a dressier watch. And then that's it lah. So that collection 2.0, as I call it, started about 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's how I got started.
It's an interesting. You got into it because you were getting out of it. That's a good
one.
Exactly.
Interesting part. Right. Okay, Adrian, what about you, man?
Yeah, actually, I can relate to WK a bit also lah. I think growing up, I think I got my first watch. I honestly can't remember when I got my first watch. I think it was in my teens. I think again, it was probably one of those Adidas, rubber watches. It silicone or Puma and all that had that face lah. I
Okay,
think that was my
WK, you see the generation gap here.
Yeah, I know, right?
WK is a manual hand winding watch. My first watch is a QQ digital watch, and suddenly Adrian is Adidas, and you see how big is the generation gap here.
pure
Yeah,
like
that's right.
fashion brand watches already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I ever since then I always had a watch. Like you lah, it's not that the watch I like the watch, and whenever I bought a watch, it's purely I think it looks good on me. That's it, and I want it there,
Yeah.
And also of course, a lot of us lah. It was time where before the phone, right? We all had to have a watch to tell the time in a sense lah, right?
Yeah.
Before actually having a handphone when I was in my teens and all the way up lah. And I also remember before I got into watches again, at the time my girlfriend, which is now my wife, bought me the Seiko 5, the SNKD 97 that I still have till today.
Nice.
And I remembered hating the watch because it keeps stopping.
She know you hate the watch.
No. I don't think so, because I don't wear it that often, because I have two watches probably at that time, a digital one, and that's an automatic. It's an automatic, but you don't wear for 2 days and then it stops, right? And I go like, what nonsense is this? No, seriously, you're so used to a digital watch, just pick up and go. You get that, and I go like, why do I have to keep winding the watch single time I want to wear the watch? So it's very annoying for me, and I thought it was like a problem or something. I honestly had no idea what was going on. So I actually barely wear the watch that often. I only wear it during like more formal stuff because it's a metal watch. My other watches were probably one of those rubber fashion watches at that point of time. And how I actually got recently into the watch world or this rabbit hole is about 2.5 years ago. I was actually looking for a watch to buy for my wife, and researching and the normal fashion brand watches come into mind Michael Kors, Fossil, Daniel Wellington, because those are the ones that get marketed so much. That's what a normal person would hear. You won't hear about Zane or anything like that. You hear about all these fashion watches. So I actually got a Fossil watch for her. I was like, quite nice lah. And then my mom's birthday also came up. So I was like, okay, now I want to buy something for my mom as well. So I started, and I'm the kind of person who actually read up a lot before I buy something. So I started to look for her stuff. And then I think what really drew me in was this, again, YouTube channels. I think it was Teddy Baldassar first. And then, it links to all the others. So I think it was Buck and Jack, and then Urban Gentry, the most popular ones. And then habis already from there, really habis already.
Not included NM Watch lah.
At that time, I didn't. Normal YouTube, the YouTube algorithm will always push you towards the big channels first
Okay. That's a joke, man.
Later on, yeah. But that happens I think they go for the ones that actually generate ads and that kind of stuff. So they push you there But still, that was the part really started looking into everything. Actually trying to remember what was the first. So I started to think, okay, I need to really save up and see really what I can get, something nice, a nice mechanical watch for myself. And I think my first was the Versace, the Fuyukeshiki, the limited tail time one. And habis also that one, because I think it was a very beautiful watch, at least from the dial and all that. And then habis really once you start one, like you WK, I think I need a dive watch. I think I need a field watch. I think I need that kind of stuff. And it goes on and started. Yeah, that's how I got into it researching to buy watches for other people. And end up I'm the one who's buying at the time now. So.
It's true, right? That's why I love Jodie's channel, Just One More Watch, because I think that channel name is so perfect. It's like, it's just one more. I just need one more. I think I just want one more. Just one more watch. And actually, no, you are the king of strap fashion shows. I found your channel because I was looking for I can't remember which watch it was, but I was wondering this watch. I wonder what it would look like on leather. I wonder what it would look like on NATO, whatever. And I found your channel, and then when I listened to you, I said hey, this fella macam Malaysian aja. So then I looked you up and it's like, hey, really confirm he's Malaysian. So yeah, that's how I found you.
Alright. Thank you, man. Okay, so hey, Aaron, you haven't told us your black magic, lah, bro.
Yeah,
Honestly,
the insect whisperer.
Inside, how the heck you managed to invite all those ants lah, all those apa ni grasshopper lah, whatever lah, go into your picture. Later on, of course, I will put in some of your Instagram picture here so that people will. I always wonder how the heck do you manage to do that, bro? Just quick lah.
okay. The first few pictures I remember, the insects were not alive. So
Okay.
that helped a lot. You know, they don't move, so it's okay. That's how it started.
Right.
And then actually, I think the trick is I actually seen a lot of insects. Like okay, my failure rate is way higher than my success rate. That's what I can tell you first. So you don't see the ones that all got away, basically. So whatever I got, normally they are already a bit okay. A lot of times I actually come across insects that are not very healthy. That's the right word I would use lah. So they are already on their verge of, a bit dizzy. I didn't do anything to them. I always make a point that I never harm them. That's for sure. I really don't harm them.
That's why you
then,
have. That's why you are in the conservation, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually make sure that I don't harm them. But a lot of times you see those, really, or you get a slow moving one like a millipede or something like that. There's a lot. And then others they are just sometimes a bit slow already. I've got quite lucky lah, that sense. There's no magic involved. I wish I know also. Then I wouldn't have such a high failure rate. But they are just a bit slow already. Then they just don't really resist lah. When you just put the watch there, ask them to nudge them a bit to go on the watch, and then they just don't move. But what I actually really like and I find quite fascinating is nests actually. It's not always successful, but I really like to go like, if you see an ant's nest, or because I actively search for it lah. So that's why also I get to find so many of them. I like it when they just swarm over the watch. You just put there only lah, and they will do their stuff already. You don't really have to do anything, and then just wait for the right shot lah. Basically, I've always failed with all the flying ones lah. Then can't do anything lah. Butterflies, flies, they will disappear one lah. No,
but I thought you did manage to get some flying insects on your watches before. I think I've seen 1 or 2 shots.
Yeah, but not that many lah.
There was
serious.
Yeah, there was a bee. That one also was like drowsy already. The bee itself didn't fly. It was just walking around the ground. It didn't want to fly.
How do you know the fella is drowsy already?
Because senang je. You go there, you put the watch, the fella never fly off. Then I think there was a mosquito, but that one was dead also. That one I smacked because the fellow
mosquito.
Smack the fella.
Yeah, mosquito. Wow. I had one. That was quite fun because I actually took a macro of the eye of the mosquito.
Oh, right.
So that was a very intense zoom. That one. I think I got some sort of, I really can't remember how I took that picture. It was probably some attachment lens that, magnifying lens or something like that.
You definitely have to share that photo lah, bro. Later on email, send me that mosquito eye lah, yo.
Can. Not the clearest of photos lah, but boleh lah. You can get the, the segments of the eyes.
Hexagon shape lah.
Yeah.
WK, I think.
But what I really like about your Instagram is the fact that you don't just like take pretty pictures of your watches. Like you always have some meaning to it because of the nature situation that it's in. There's always some context to it. There's most of the time I think there is also a conservation message in there. So I think like that's. Guys, basically, if you're watching this and you haven't followed Adrian on Watches in Nature, I don't know where you are on the screen, but you need to follow this guy because some amazing work.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot,
like you set things on fire, you arrange watches on pasta. It's like amazing stuff, lah.
Amazing. But then, WK, you also started, right?
Sorry, what?
WK, you also started doing the the photography as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been interested in photography. I actually have another channel. Well, it's not a channel because it's not YouTube. I actually have another account, which is really just like travel and photography related, but a bit defunct now because like we're doing so much traveling now, right? So, so I haven't really done anything with that. But yeah, it's a lot of work lah, to like really set up your shot and set up the lighting. And like, I tell you, 90% this is what happens, okay? In my mind, I can see a shot. But as I'm setting it up, as it's taking more than 10 minutes, I'm like, just F it. I think this is good enough. I'm going to take the shot and post it. It's like, because like to really, really, really do good work, like the stuff that Adrian does and all these other watch photographers, right? It's like, you'd be spending like 45 minutes, an hour just setting up the shot, and I'm like, I don't have that kind of dedication. So like I like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I'm done. I want to move on.
Yeah, but then your write up, your write up for each photo, I think that's amazing, man. So it shows that you have that what I call it, passion or context that you want to express in your photos lah. So that's why I like.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's like, for me, it's like a big part of why I buy watches. It's like, I think that all of them are special, and it doesn't matter what brand, it doesn't matter what price range, whatever. I think they're all really special. And I'm also conscious of the fact that I also have some watches that are considered luxury or expensive or whatever. And I don't want to come across as showing off. I really, really want to share what I like about these watches and what make them special and why I'm passionate about watches. So I have to write lah. And for me, writing is quite natural because I come from a writing background. So for me, it's like just tembak lah, it's easy to write.
Bro. That shows.
Yeah, but photography is hard work, man. So like at 99% of what I post is all like iPhone wrist shots. I don't care if people say that wrist shots are cheesy or whatever, but that's something I can invest that 2 minutes at that time. I'm willing to do it, and I'm happy.
Still, your photos are way better than mine.
Awesome, actually. Which is quite awesome.
Thank you, bro.
I barely do any wrist shots. I like you guys to all do the wrist shot. I don't know why. I just don't take wrist shots. I just can't take wrist shots. I don't know.
Now that you mention it, I just noticed. Correct. You don't take wrist shot.
Barely any wrist shot. I think I got 800 plus posts now, if I'm not mistaken. Probably like 5 wrist shots at the most. I don't know why lah. I just.
But wrist shots are easy, right? I mean, at least if you're doing it at my level, they're easy, right? You just sort of like find the right angle, you got decent light, take the shot, right? I mean, I'm not doing like the over shoulder, and, something in the foreground, that outside the depth of field. I'm not doing all that stuff. It's just simple, right? So it's easy.
I think purely because my wrist is too small. I find a lot of watches looking a bit weird on my wrist.
Yeah. Yours is how
because of the lens on your phone.
No. My wrist itself is very small, so I actually feel like my wrist is not a nice looking wrist. I don't know how to put it, but it doesn't look good lah when I take a picture, because my wrist is like 5 3/4 inch. Is smaller than 6 inches.
Okay.
Every watch looks massive on my wrist. So I always find that it's not a very nice picture, so I normally don't take lah. That's the biggest reason also lah. Self-conscious.
But there's a trick there also, actually. If you are using a phone to do a quick wrist shot, right? If you have a phone with two lenses, use the telephoto. Because the telephoto, there's less distortion. The wide angle will always distort what's closest to it, and it always looks bigger. So if you point your phone with a wide angle lens at the watch will appear bigger than the wrist behind it. So if you use your telephoto, there's a little bit less distortion. So you can take it from a little bit further away, but there's less distortion, and then the wrist fills out a bit lah. So so it looks a bit better.
Technique, we need to have a Yamcha session lah.
I don't know when
it is going to happen, bro.
And one thing, no, I really want to ask you, how do you find time to shoot so many videos? Seriously,
Yeah, man.
amazing. Your output is amazing.
No, the
Yeah,
key
man.
to that question is you have to have a very understanding wife, right? Because you have to make sure that the wife must keep quiet, the kids must keep quiet, and that's all, man. Just, you know what, I've been doing this. I've been doing this for like, I don't know, since 2016, I think. So yeah, first few years was very struggling.
Wow.
I didn't know what to say and everything. But lately, of course, especially on the that fashion show, strap fashion show, right? So I've amassed quite a lot of straps. I think more than 200 plus, right? So
Yep.
half of it,
I can see that.
half of it is sponsored by all these online stores, and half of it I bought lah. But then, as from time to time, so you know, this is just a sharing session, and then it becomes natural lah. So normally, like strap fashion shows will take about one video will take about 30 minutes to record in total lah. But of course, the video will be like 10 to 15 minutes only lah. But when you set up, I select the strap first, and then think and have an idea on what to talk about it. It will take maybe 30 minutes to 1 hour lah. So this is where I always shoot in the middle of the night, maybe after 9:30 p.m. So when everybody's sleeping, so nobody's going to kacau me. So the timing is there lah. But then yeah, of course, it's quite quite tiresome, but still it's it's nice to share to you, to my viewers. So it's okay. I'm okay for it, no problem. Right. Okay, so
you've done so much of it that you are very natural and very pleasant to watch, because you're just so natural with it, so comfortable.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Comes with practice, I guess.
Yeah, definitely come with practice, bro. All right, so I think we are at the end of our 40 minutes Zoom conversation for today, right? So last, right? So I think maybe again, maybe you guys want to just tell the audience how to reach out you guys on Instagram or on YouTube. Maybe start with Adrian first.
Yeah, sure. So you can see my handle again. I'm not sure where it would be, but somewhere here. Watches in Nature, both for my YouTube and my Instagram channels lah. Both my pages are the same, Watches in Nature in one word. I'm not super active in YouTube, but I try. Nowhere close to how Noor is producing his material. I still envy him for having that dedication to have such a good output lah. Seriously, but yeah, that's my handle. Yeah.
All right. What about you, WK?
Okay, so I only have an Instagram account, because YouTube, I'm not even going to bother to try, because I know I will be too lazy to put up the content. Photos also take quite a lot of effort for me. So do follow me on Chronopath. I think it's here somewhere.
Yep.
Chronopath. It's chrono.path. I shoot pictures of watches that I like, and things that are currently in that I'm currently enjoying, or things that I would love to enjoy. So if you like it, please subscribe, follow, comment, like, and hit the bell icon, even though there's no bell icon, but hit it anyway. Thank you.
All right. So last but not least, I'm Nur Muhammad from NMWatch YouTube channel. I review affordable watches, and also, like you mentioned just now, straps and basic accessories for watches. And on Instagram, I'm on Instagram NMWatch _Insta. I don't really take quite amazing photos such as WK and Adrian do, but I try, right? So I normally do some loom shots or some wrist shot. That's all about it. And yeah, I think that's all, guys. So thank you very much, right? So thank you very much to
hey, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks also.
Thank you very much. And maybe so we just pray that we can have a real Yamcha session, right? So my bishop will be there. Maybe in one more month. I think you guys, both of you guys got your second dose already, right?
No.
Yeah.
Mine not yet.
Not yet. Alamak. But soon, bro. No worries, right?
Hopefully,
so I think that's all. Right?
Soon.
I think that's all. So don't forget to send me your photos and videos for me to edit later on. So I think that's all. And today, thank you very much. And I'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Cheers, guys. See you.
Bye. Okay.